So I'm standing at Point State Park in downtown Pittsburgh today, and this was the prize for Europeans and Native Americans alike in the 1750s. By 1750, there were already some white settlers in the area trading with Native Americans. But by 1753, the French were looking to solidify their strength in the interior of North America through a string of forts that stretched from Montreal to Quebec, across the St. Lawrence River, down through Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, to Fort Presque Isle, and a series of forts down to the Allegheny River, which we've got right over here. From there, the Allegheny River would take you to the Ohio River in the background, and you can see how even today there's active trade and tourism and boat traffic on these rivers. So from the Ohio, you could reach the entire interior, and for the French that meant getting all the way to the Mississippi River and then down to their controllings in Louisiana, effectively hemming in any other advancement of British settlement beyond this point. In 1753, it was George Washington, who was about 20 years old, was sent to this area with a message by Virginia Governor Robert Dinwiddie to tell the French basically to beat it. It was quite audacious for this young British guy just to kind of show up and tell the French, who'd been here for a while, that you have to leave or else. And the outcome was, as you expected, the commanding officer of the French told him to buzz off. Then it was in 1754 that Washington then returned with the Braddock expedition, which was to oust the French from the newly solidified and fortified Fort Duquesne that was built here after kicking out a smaller British trading post called Fort King George. If you can imagine, when that occurred, there were several thousand canoes that came down the Allegheny River here, with the French showing up to build the new fort. So this was the whole point of the conflict that became the French and Indian War, and why you saw a clash of three different empires, really: the French, the British, and the Native Americans, who were all somewhat equals in this area. It's hard to imagine, but I kind of like the symbolism of three rivers and three different cultures sort of clashing together in this area. It wasn't until 1758 that a subsequent British expedition finally ousted the French from here, from Fort Duquesne, which they burned as they retreated, and then in short order the British set to constructing Fort Pitt, which became the largest colonial